Hello everybody! In this lesson I will teach you how to solve equations that contain fractions, the three examples below and others. Solve for x. So what is in the way here is the 3 over 2, the 3 in front of the x and over 2. So what you do is you start by getting rid of the 2 under the line, and you do that by multiplying with 2 both sides, because what you do on the left you do on the right, and then you can say 2 goes in itself once, 2 goes into 2 once, and you're left with, on the left hand side, 3x equals, and on the right hand side 6 times 2 is 12. The question says solve for x. So what's in the way is the coefficient of 3 in front of x. So you get rid of that 3 by saying divide by 3 both sides. And then you can say 3 goes in itself once, 3 goes in itself once. So there's the x left on the left. And then on the right hand side, 3 goes in itself once, 3 goes into 12 4 times. Let's do another one. Now I give you 2x over 4 minus 2 is equal to 8. So the first thing you want to do is you want to get rid of the negative 2 on the left hand side. Now how do you get rid of that negative 2? You add plus 2 both sides. So on the left hand side, negative 2 plus 2 will cancel, and on the right hand side 8 plus 2 is 10. Then it's 2x over 4 is equal to 10. The next thing you want to do, can you see you are actually back at the first sum. So you want to get rid of the 4 under the line. And you get rid of that 4 by multiplying both sides by 4. And then on the left hand side, you will say 4 goes in itself once, 4 goes in itself once. And you're left with 2x equals, and on the right hand side 10 times 4 is 40. And now the question says solve x. So the coefficient of x, the 2, is still in the way there. You get rid by the 2, you get rid of the 2 by dividing both sides by 2, and therefore 2 goes in itself once, 2 goes in itself once, and you're left with x on the left hand side is equal to, and 40 divided by 2 is 20. Solve for k. Now you will see suddenly under the line there's a 5 and a 3. So you want to get rid of the 5 and the 3. And you get rid of the 5 and the 3 by finding the LCD, the lowest common denominator. And what is the one number that can get rid of 5 and 3 is 15. In short, you can say 5 times 3 is 15. So first of all, you find an LCD of 15. Now what do you do with the LCD? You have to multiply every term in your equation individually by 15. And you write it there. And now you can say on the first term, 15 times 1 is 15. On the second term, 5 goes in itself once, 5 goes into 15 3 times. And then I'm left with 3 times 2k equals, and then on the right hand side, 3 goes in itself once, 3 goes into 15 5 times, and I'm left on the right hand side with 5 times k. Now I can just complete my equation by saying 15 and then plus 3 times 2 is 6k equals 5 times k is 5k. So now I want to get rid of the 15 on the left hand side by saying subtract 15 on the left hand side and subtract 15 on the right hand side. Then the 15 and the negative 15 will cancel, and I'm left with 6k equals 5k minus 15. And then I want all the k's on one side. So how will I get rid of the 5k on the right hand side? by subtracting negative 5k right and left. Therefore, 5k minus 5k is nothing, and on the left hand side 6k minus 5k is just k is equal to negative 15. Solve for A. Now I give you an equation and it contains fractions, and you want to get rid of the 3 under the line and the 2 under the line. Again, we find the LCD, the lowest common denominator, and that will be 3 times 2 is 6. So 6 is the one number that will get rid of the 3 and the 2. Now what do we do with the LCD? We will multiply every term individually by the LCD, even the 0 on the right hand side. And now we can complete the sum by saying 3 goes in itself once, 3 goes into 6 twice. I'm left with 2 times A, which is 2A. Then the second term, you say 2 goes in itself once and 2 goes into 6 3 times. But now you must be very careful, since there's an A plus 5, but the A plus 5 is bound together. So what's left will be plus 3 bracket A plus 5 equals, and on the right hand side 0 times 6 is 0. So the next step will be 2A rights with, and you will first have to multiply out this bracket. So 3 times A and 3 times 5 leaves you with plus 3A plus 15 is equal to 0. Then we will add like terms first. So 2A plus 3A is 5A plus 15 is equal to 0. I want to solve A, so let's get rid of the plus 15. I subtract 15 on the left hand side and I subtract 15 on the right hand side. So on the left hand side, plus 15 minus 15 is nothing, and I'm left on the left hand side with 5A equals negative 15. I want to solve A, so the coefficient of 5, that one is in the way. I will get rid of that 5 by dividing both sides by 5. And then 5 goes in itself once, 5 goes in itself once. There will be an A left on the left hand side, and on the right hand side 5 goes in itself once, 5 goes into 15 3 times. Therefore, the solution A is equal to negative 3. Solve for A. Now, how is this sum different? Suddenly, there's an A under the line together with a number. So you deal with it the exact same way. What you will do is you will find the LCD and you will decide on an LCD by saying, how can I get rid of the A? How can I get rid of the 6? By multiplying by 6A. So your LCD is 6A. What do you do with the LCD? You will multiply every term individually by the LCD. Then A goes in itself once, A goes in itself once, and on the left hand side you're left with 6 times 2 is 12. And on the right hand side 6 goes in itself once, 6 goes in itself once, and you're left with A times 3, which is 3A. Let's solve A. So we get rid of the coefficient of 3 by dividing both sides by 3. On the right hand side, 3 goes in itself once, 3 goes in itself once, and on the left hand side, 3 goes in itself once, 3 goes into 12 4 times. The solution, A is equal to 4. Before we continue, have you subscribed yet? Or you can like this video, and better yet, please tell your friends about my channel. Let's continue. Solve for T. Now when you look at this equation, you want to get rid of the 3t, the 6, and the 2. So what is this one number that can get rid of everything? And that is the LCD, which in this case will be 6t. What do you do with the LCD? You multiply every term individually by the LCD. Now you can say t goes in itself once, t goes in itself once. 3 goes in itself once, 3 goes into 6 twice. I'm left with 2 times 2 is 4. Then here, the second term, 6 goes in itself once, 6 goes in itself once. I'm left with t times 3, therefore minus 3t. On the right hand side, 2 goes in itself once, 2 goes into 6 3 times. And I'm left with 3t times 1 is 3t. Now, I want all the t's on the right hand side. So it's this minus 3t that's in the way here. I will add plus 3t this side to get rid of it. Minus 3t plus 3t is nothing. But remember, what I do on the left hand side, I also do on the right hand side. On the left hand side, I'll be left with 4. And on the right hand side, 3t plus 3t is 6t. And then I want to solve t, so I want to get rid of the coefficient of 6 in front of t. Therefore, I will divide both sides by 6. On the right hand side, 6 and 6 will cancel. And then on the left hand side, unfortunately 6 can't go into 4, but what you can do is you can say 2 goes into 4 twice and 2 goes into 6 3 times. Therefore, your solution t is equal to 2 over 3. Let's solve for b. Again, under the line, there's a 3b, a 9, and a 9b that you want to get rid of. How? By finding an LCD. So the LCD, the one number that will get rid of everything will be a 9b. So your LCD, 9b. What do you do with your LCD? You will multiply every term inside your equation individually by 9b, by the LCD. And then b and b will cancel. 3 goes in itself once and 3 goes into 9 3 times. And again, you must be careful. What is left here is this 1 minus b inside a bracket. So what's left there for that whole term will be 3 bracket 1 minus b. The second term, the 9 and the 9 will cancel, and you're left with b times 1, which is just plus b. And on the right hand side, 9b can cancel with this 9b, and you're left with b plus 2. So your next step will be to multiply in the 3 minus b, 3 minus 3b plus b is equal to b plus 2. Now, before I start doing anything else, I will add my like terms. Minus 3b plus b is negative 2b. So the next step will be to get rid of the 2 on the right hand side. So I will subtract 2 so that this becomes 0, and then what I do on the right, I do on the left. On the left hand side, negative 2 plus 3 is 1, minus 2b is equal to b. And now I want all my b's on one side. So I'm going to take this negative 2b, add 2b to it, so that it can cancel. And then what I do on the left, if I add 2b on the left, I also add 2b on the right. And then on the left hand side, I'm left with 1. And on the right hand side, I add like terms. B plus 2b is 3b. Now I can solve b. I have to get rid of the 3, the coefficient in front of b first, by dividing both sides by 3. And then on the right hand side, the 3 and the 3 will cancel, and on the left hand side, I end with 1 over 3. Therefore, the solution B is a third. In the next video, I will teach you how to solve quadratic equations. Click on the video in the left-hand corner to take you straight to the next video.